All right, so right now I'm going to interview Terri. So Terri was Emma's speech therapist, and she used to come to our house when we worked for Early Steps, and then she transitioned to St. Martin Hospital. And you might have done, did you do both, or you just did one? Okay, so she did both. We're still trying to remember exactly because it happened almost
So
15 years ago. Yeah, so we were trying to think about all the details, which we don't have them all. And we're not trying. We're just going to try to say we'll remember. So Terri used to come into the house and give Emma speech therapy because she was so preemie. She had to have speech OT and physical therapy that would come into our house. So just share with us what you remember. And she also has a special story, and I want her to share that too.
Well, the first encounter I remember, like you said, is at your clothing shop.
Mm-hmm.
Before I actually saw Emma for therapy, I believe, was Emma Cole down the street. And I remember walking in, and the beauty of you and Emma, and because you looked so much like each other, you were so welcome and loving, and the freedom that you allowed her was beautiful. She was on the floor under the clothes racks, crawling around, and it was just so joyful. And the connection that you two had with each other was very touching. Then fast forward to therapy, and what Kelly and I both agree that we remember is the joy that Emma and I brought each other, because she was always smiling and giggling, a very happy baby, blessed to be on earth for sure. Then in walk, I was working at my desk at rehab manager at St. Martin Hospital, and hey, Miss Terri, and I look up and I see you and lovely Emma, the dynamic duo, smiling beautifully, ready. Finally, we felt like we could give back, like through more therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. And she was fearless. She was brave and courageous. We had so many babies that would cry, and she wasn't one of those. She would welcome, you could welcome into your arms, into your heart, and that's what I remember. And Kelly, we were so young then, right? Gosh! So
no gray hair.
Oh gosh! Yes. So I guess that's what the third memory I have is before you left with Emma to go out of state, right, to the hospital. I remember not too far from here, you were holding hands, and just as Jesus trusted Mary, I saw Emma trusting you. She was wearing which in reflection, and now makes me think of this, she was wearing a white smocked dress that made me remember or think of the buds. That made me think of our baptism and the baptismal promises that we make. And that was the last time I saw her before she went to heaven. So I thought, what a beautiful experience to see you holding her hand and her looking up at you, and she trusting you so much just to step down, because physically that was hard for her to step down that large stoop. Sorry, bugs.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So what a lovely image. But definitely took my breath away and speechless whenever I found out through a mutual friend about what happened. Yes. So the story that you mentioned too is 16 years ago I had a miscarriage, and this is the place I came, actually.
Oh,
yes.
You see how she draws us?
After my miscarriage, to pray every day. I would walk from my house here to pray for more babies, and thank God I was blessed with 2 more. Also inside here, above the sanctuary, there's the stained glass window. And after the day of my miscarriage, this is the immediate place my husband and I came to find peace. And we knew where our baby was, but the heartbreak was unexplainable. So from there, I remember grieving and having loss years later, and this was actually after in the past something was on because I had never shared my miscarriage with you. I remember reaching out to you, and because I had to leave, we had to leave and move the house we were in, and I was in a state of despair and needed something to hang on to because I had a box of memories, Addison's keepsakes, and because we were moving, I felt like I was leaving something behind, and something was upon my heart to reach out to you, and you entered my wound with me, and you showed me what to do, maybe not so much by your words, but with your actions, and upon reflection, I also think that what Redbird Ministry has done is it's allowed me to, instead of feeling like I left my little miscarried baby at home at the little altar that my husband made there, I could take her with me into my inner sanctuary, and it didn't matter where I lived, where I went, and you and God's grace gave me that beautiful place that she could be and live with me forever. So I really thank you, and of course Jesus Christ for that. It is so beautiful.
Yes.
So beautiful.
And we are praying for you. Terri is currently going through chemo, so please keep her in your prayers as well.
Yes, it's my second bout of cancer, and what I find lately from your book, which I haven't looked at or read yet, I just see some of your posts, that I feel like I finally can relate to the passion of Christ. In some of the quotes that I've seen, you write, I feel like I could. I've always said this. I know I'm going back and forth.
It's okay.
I've always said that Kelly understands, and you understand. Redbird Ministry understands, and we needed this in our community so bad. I remember long ago, I picked up the phone and called the church after my miscarriage, looking for a safe place, looking for something, and all they could say, which they don't, was, well, is there a body? Oh God, no, there's no, how do you answer and how do you even begin to? So we needed this desperately in our community, because now I feel like people will have the tools to begin to heal, and you will jump right in there with them and embrace them with your love. Ryan, you too. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. And I have something for you.
Oh, yay! I get a book.
You get a book, but I'm gonna have to sign it. So I'll sign it in a little bit. But here's a book.
Oh, what a huge blessing! Thank you so much.
All right.
I can't wait to read it.
All right.